the potatoes, and we'll have the squash and zucchini vegetable to complete our entree. So I'm going to get this going, and I will be back in just a few moments. Cooking with sugar. All right, we're back, and you are cooking with Sugarlious, and we just did a roast. It's out of the oven, and what I'm going to do now is teach you how to make Sugarlious gravy. And if it doesn't work out for you the very first time, don't get upset. Throw it out and start all over again. But what you want to do to a nice hot pan that you have oil in is sprinkle in. Now, how much flour do you use? How much gravy do you need? Do you need a cup of gravy? Do you need 2 cups of gravy? Do you need a kettle of gravy? But I like to cook in a large pot, so I will be able to have enough gravy if I desire to add to my meat, or to have later on leftover. At least the gravy is made. And did you know gravy, you can freeze it? So what I've done right now is just put the flour into the skillet. I'm just adding some pepper and a little spice. And again, I'm going to stick with my same spices that I used for the vegetables and I used for the roast. And I'm just making certain that I have it nicely distributed in the pan. And you can see the pan, and it's distributed. So now I'm just going to go ahead and do what I do while I'm waiting for the gravy to do what it does. You don't have to just stand and watch it because it has to brown. So don't fear that you're going to burn the gravy. We're not going to make a roux. We're just making a gravy. Now, some people want to use the bouquet for browning, and I feel that has too much sodium. So I don't use the bouquet for browning, to brown. I used to use it for the turkey, the ground turkey, but I don't use that any longer. So I'm going to set that in there. We're getting ready. It's starting to brown, but we're still just going to leave it alone. Leave it alone, and it will do what it's supposed to do. The roast, I had to let the roast sit, or rest is what it's called, before I start preparing. You know, we have the fennel, which is we have the mushrooms. Let me try that. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Now the roast. Remember I had that fat, and I browned that fat. Tender. Now this was an Angus roast. Oh, wonderful. Okay, it's starting to brown. Let's see if we can get a close-up on the gravy. You can see it's starting to brown. What I want to do now that it's starting to brown is that I want to turn the temperature down low, and I want to start adding cold water. You don't want to add hot water because you will make glue. So actually, the fire is now off completely. Oh, that smells so good. And I have a little bit of the pan dripping. I'm going to add right to that gravy. It got quiet. That means the gravy is perfect. When it doesn't quiet down, something's wrong. Your fire's too hot. You don't have enough water. And as quiet as it's kept, you've burnt it. You've blown it. And this is Sugarlicious gravy. This is biscuit sopping gravy. And if you really want to know the recipe and how to do that, I'm going to be making an actual video on just how to make gravy. And what did that take? 7 minutes? Maybe less than 10 minutes. It's smooth. It's lump free. We can get a good picture of the gravy. That's gravy. Any way you look at it, that is gravy. It'll cool down a little bit and you can see it better. But that is gravy. And to that, I'm just going to pour some over the roast while it's still in the pan. And I'm just going to let it simmer in the skillet a little while. But I'm just letting this rest. And that's what it's doing. It's resting. And while it's resting, everything else is getting ready and is ready. Let's set this over here. And I'm going to set this over here to the side. And what I did with my vegetables is that I had a green squash, a zucchini, I'm sorry, and a yellow squash. And what I did was I sliced them thin, just thin slices like this here. Just do it all together. You don't have to do one by one, how thick, how thin. It's totally up to you. And you can change and take all of this and put it in a salad. So you don't have to waste anything at all. Nothing at all. Nice, thin. Now, if you were going to use it in a soup, then you want to keep it pretty much like this here if you're going to use it in a soup. But if you're going to use it in a salad, then you want to, once you cut it, just cut it in half again if you're going to use it in a salad. You know, and if you're going to really serve a lot of people, then cut it once again. Same vegetable. And you can use it in a multitude of different ways, and you're not wasting anything. All the meals is just one shot, one time, one grocery store trip, and I'm not going back and forth to the store buying this and buying that. You need the mushrooms, they're sliced. You want them whole, they're whole. You want the fennel, there's the fennel. You want the onions, there's your onion. You know, your lettuce. Everything is just really where you want it and how you need it. And you just make one trip to the store. And you can change all of this. You want soup, keep it thick. You want it to go around for a lot of people, cut it up a little bit more fine. So you can do all of this, and then when you are finished and you have leftovers, usually I say put it in a pot, don't I? But you know what? We're going to put it in a bag, and then if we need to, we'll put it in a pot. And everything is already cut up, already diced up, and you don't have to continue to do this at a later date. It's all ready. Your onions is in here. Your squash, your zucchini, it's all in the bag. And that's how convenient we want our cooking. That's how convenient we want everything that we're doing in life to be convenient. Because if you're convenient and consistent, then you're going to be more productive. And this is what we want this year, is the year of productivity. And we don't want to just do a lot of wasting time and wasting valuable resources. So that's what we're trying to do, and we're going to accomplish this year. I'm going to check on the gravy. You know what? My brother in heaven and my grandmother in heaven, they would give me an A+ on this gravy. I learned how, living in Alaska And they were in Texas. And I just gotten married, and I was making Thanksgiving dinner, and I made the gravy. Oh my gosh, I cried and cried and cried. I had a big skillet full of glue. So I called my brother, called my grandmother. They walked me through it, and I have been making perfect gravy ever since. And you can make perfect gravy as well. So let's get together. Let's get our plates. We have the zucchini and potatoes and squash. Put that in there. Now, if you're watching your weight and you don't want to eat a complete whole potato, that's understandable, but you can share it with someone else. And then we have the roast, and this is tender. Turn it around this way. And again, using a meat thermometer, and that is going to help a great deal when you're cooking, because that way you're not going to overcook your meat. And then we can just take a little, I know I have it. You know I'm in Toya and Steve's kitchen today here in Florida, and it's such a joy and a pleasure. And then we want to take a little bit of this gravy and put over the roast beef. Take a little bit of the gravy and put over the potatoes. That is absolutely gorgeous. I'm going to set this to the side. I'm still impressed with this gravy. I really am. I'm so impressed with this gravy. So let's see how we're doing. Okay. Oh my goodness. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. And you know, I'm not a big bread eater, and I forget that people do enjoy bread. But the reason why I'm doing this is because I want to eat it with the gravy. So this is just actually, is this the potato? This is an onion roll. And I'm going to do like the old folks. I'm going to sop it up. This is Cooking with Sugarlious. And this is a delicious, nutritious pot roast with zucchini and potatoes. I got the one sop before this camera goes off on me. For the recipe, on the bottom of the screen, call me. I can come to where you are. Anywhere you are, I can come. I can get there. If you can get me there, I can get there. 409-789-9631. Catch me on Facebook. Catch me on the website, Cookin' with Sugarlious, or Scar Free Ministries. Scar Free 03 Ministries. Until next time, be blessed.
So nutritious, delicious, cooking with sugar. Cooking with sugar.